If you prefer subtitles, please tap the CC button. Translated subtitles will be displayed. Today's topic is 5 essential considerations before choosing a property in Japan. This is part 3 of the series. In part 1, we have covered first 2 topics, considering the possibility of natural disasters, and familiarizing yourself with Japanese property terms. With part 2, we have covered another 2 topics. Understand the initial cost structure to avoid hidden costs, and consider the impact on your monthly fees. If you have not watched both series, please refer to the URL below. It would be easier to understand part 3 after watching these. Today, we are covering the final topic of the 5 essential considerations, anticipating additional costs associated with long-term residence in a specific apartment. Let us guide you about the lease renewal in Japan. We are Belonging Japan. On this channel, we will be sharing area guide and how to guide to help you better understand and enjoy Japan. For additional information on this topic and other guides, please visit belongingjapan.com. Don't forget to subscribe, and your likes and comments are always appreciated as they help us understand how to create better videos for you. When you have lived in a certain property for a long time, there will be a time for lease renewal. In Japanese, it is called koshin. Before talking about the cost of renewal and its process, let's understand the types of lease. There are 2 basic types: regular lease agreement and fixed-term lease agreement. Regular lease agreement, in Japanese, it is called Futsushaka Keiyaku. With this type, it stipulates a certain period for property rental. The majority of properties fall under this contract type. With this agreement, you can continue living if you renew the contract after its term ends. If the tenant wishes to renew, the landlord cannot refuse unless there are special reasons. In a regular lease agreement, it's common to set the initial contract period for 2 years, with renewals every 2 years thereafter. On the other hand, fixed-term lease agreement. In Japanese, it is called Teikishaka Keiyaku. With this, the contract ends once the agreed-upon term ends. Unlike the regular lease agreement, this type does not include the concept of renewal. You can extend the contract, but instead of renewing, you will be creating a new contract with the landlord, making it distinct from a renewal. This provides an advantage to the landlord. With the regular lease agreement, if a landlord wishes to temporarily lease out a property due to an overseas transfer, for example, it might not guarantee the property will be vacant upon their return. However, with the fixed-term lease agreement, the landlord can lease out until they return. Now, let's move on to the cost of renewal. The cost depends on your contract, of course, but there are 4 types of fees you might need to pay when renewing the contract. The 4 types of fees may include a renewal fee, a renewal administrative fee, fire insurance, and renewal costs for the guarantor company. The renewal fee, or koshinryo in Japanese, is the cost paid to the landlord upon contract renewal. When a renewal fee is required, it typically ranges from half a month to 1 month's rent. Renewal administrative fee, koshinjim tsuryo, is paid to the management company of the apartment. It is a fee for creating the contract when renewing, and is usually paid to the real estate management company. The renewal administrative fee varies depending on the area, and may not be required. The usual range for the renewal administrative fee is around 0.2 to 0.4 months rent. Fire insurance, or kasai hokunryo in Japanese, as mentioned in part 2, is typically required at most properties. It is common to align the rental contract period with the duration of the fire insurance contract. Since rental agreements for housing typically involve renewals every 2 years, it is also customary for fire insurance to have a standard contract duration of 2 years. Generally, when renewing, you will pay an amount equivalent to the insurance premium paid at the time of the initial contract. Renewal costs for the guarantor company. If you are required to contract with a rental guarantee company, there may be costs associated with renewing the contract with the guarantee company. The amount varies depending on the guarantor company, but it seems that it is often 10% to 30% of the rent per year. Finally, let's look into the process of renewing an apartment lease. When you want to renew, typically, as the expiration date of the contract approaches, you will receive a notice of renewal from the landlord or management company through written communication. It's common to receive the notice about 1 to 3 months before the renewal date. If you don't receive it, it's advisable to check promptly. Afterwards, you simply need to sign and stamp the enclosed renewal contract and necessary documents, then return them. Once you make the renewal fee payment, the process is complete. When you want to vacate, depending on the terms of the contract, it's usually customary to notify the landlord or management company of your intent to vacate at least 1 month before leaving. Note that if your notice is delayed even slightly, it might result in a renewal fee. Therefore, if you wish to vacate, it's recommended to contact them promptly, without waiting for a full month. This concludes part 3 of our session, where we covered the 5 essential considerations before making your decision to hunt for a home in Japan. We hope this guide helped you understand the basics and was useful. Thank you for watching Belonging Japan. We hope to see you again in another video.